let's get into Kim Petras. So Kim Petras and plenty of other celebrities like Lana Del Rey, bringing her husband out of the swamp, have attended plenty of Paris Fashion Week shows. They're watching the runway. They're serving their own looks, sometimes doing interviews, and they seem a little bit out of it, like the one we're going to talk about today. So Kimberly Petras was spotted in Paris going to the Anne de Meister, I don't even know how to say that, fashion show. I'll tell you one thing, I probably will never be in anywhere near any of that type of place. How do you even say that? I'm not posh enough, you know? But in an interview I came across on my Instagram this morning, I was like, wait, what is up with Kim? She seems totally gone.
I had to do a freaking video, right? Like, it wouldn't be it if it wasn't amazing. But thank you for being there.
Of course, babe.
It was everything to me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I love you.
The comments are like, she's lost so much weight, I'm concerned. Love her, but is she okay? I love her, but what's going on with her? Another person said, I think drug abuse. It's so sad. Now, that's not the only thing that Kim Petras did while she was in Paris. She actually invited a bunch of her biggest fans to a party that they can go and have an exclusive time with Kim Petras. At least that's what they were told. A Reddit user shared a rant about Kim's recent open invite event. They claimed the promotion made it seem like fans were welcome to join, but only people on the guest list were admitted. Once the guests stopped arriving, security handpicked attendees based on appearance rather than order, letting a few in while hundreds waited outside for hours. And you know, a lot of these fans, they stand hard for these celebrities and they'll go to a place if they're told to go there with the potential of seeing them. So I can understand why so many people were disappointed. This person added, I have to agree. We waited from 10 p.m. to 1:30 and the line barely moved at all. I understand being a little late, but why invite us and give us a time to be there? It felt really disrespectful. It does seem like Kim Petras came out around 2 a.m. to say like hi to a few of the stragglers who were left behind, but otherwise another fail. Let's get into Diddy. Now, I can't believe that Diddy had speaking engagements scheduled for after he thought he would be released. Like, he thought he'd be out right now, which if he was, I maybe would be like locking my windows a little bit tighter, locking my doors. Like, I feel like the moment that he's out, he is going to try to seek revenge. Comment below. Do you guys agree? He doesn't seem like the type who would like let go. He's definitely got a grudge. He thought he'd be getting out that day. Maybe he would have a month or two left, but he would be out at speaking engagements, living his life and getting praised by everyone. I feel like when he does get out, there's definitely gonna be a shift of people like praising him. I mean, kind of like how OJ Simpson, when he's gotten out, he was just like, you know, on podcasts and hanging out and people are asking him about it. I feel like Diddy's going to kind of bliss in that. And maybe in 4 years, people will be over it. At one point, he was up for maybe 11 years. If he was in there for 11 years, I feel like he would have just died, but I guess not. They keep you alive in there. You know, they feed you. I mean, it's not good food, but they feed you. Diddy says he doesn't eat it, but you gotta eat something. Some people say if Diddy kept his mouth closed, maybe he would have been out sooner, that the speech that he gave to the judge did not convince the judge that he was humble and had learned his lesson. Either way, I feel like it was a lose-lose situation. If he didn't speak, people were gonna think that he's heartless and he can't stand up for himself. And when he did speak, people would figure out how to make his words sound bad, even if they aren't. But I mean, he did it himself. He knew exactly what to say. I mean, speaking about his engagements and his plans and, you know, he did say that he was sorry to Cassie and to his other victims, but it just doesn't seem like he's different. I think he's a little bit arrogant. And I feel like also having this lawyer by his side for so many months, like convincing him that they're going to win all of this has just probably, you know, confused him. He thinks maybe he's like done his time already.
The judge looked Diddy right in the face right before handing him a 4-year sentence and said, "You will forever be associated with Cassie and Jane. You can't wash them away." This after his attorney spent hours defending his character. Brian Steele said Diddy is a leader, a civil rights leader. Talked about his success and how he's given back to his community. They talked about the charter schools that he started. They also said that he shouldn't be punished for being an addict and that he got addicted to painkillers after getting surgery.
This person writes, Diddy got 4 years, but R. Kelly got 30? I'm confused. We had way more evidence on Diddy, which is an interesting point. I'm not too articulate in the R. Kelly case, but maybe R. Kelly did not have Diddy money, but R. Kelly was pretty well off. You have to keep in mind that some of the victims who were supposed to testify against Diddy in court didn't show up. Like Gina, his longtime girlfriend, did not go and testify against him. So maybe R. Kelly had more people who were willing to go and take him down. This is why victims of SA do not speak up. 4 damn years? Another person writes, I'm worried for Cassie's safety. A lot of times when rich people are in court and they are pleading their case, they will make a video, a dedicated video to go and play in the courtroom to go and convince the judge that they're a good person. And of course, Diddy had his video made of all of his accomplishments, trying to convince everyone that he would be better off out and the world would be succeeding better with him in it.
Given to the world, I don't think you know, man.
When my baby cries.
You gotta give her a bottle then.
Know that you mean something to people. Know that you mean something to people. Like you live somewhere in people's heart.
My nose fell off.
This is a 12-minute video, by the way. We're not watching the whole thing.
No, then my lip fell off. Thank you. You wear it?
You inspire, you energize, and you've left that for the rest of the existence.
This comment says, nobody said he was a bad dad, but he still abuses women and he's going to jail for it. Now, I briefly mentioned our victim who did not come forward, Gina, who's also Diddy's girlfriend, and it seems like she wasn't too happy about his sentence. Gina claims that prosecutors made her feel pressured to go against her experiences with him. She does explain that she cooperated with prosecutors. She met with them 3 times, answered questions, and provided evidence, including photos, videos, and texts from her phone. Gina says that she refused to be a victim, but they wanted her to be. She denied that Diddy ever trafficked her or engaged in any prostitution. Gina also clarified that she had planned to testify using the same energy. That maybe would have changed the case. She said, I told them I was not a victim, but they insisted that I was, even when I expressed my truth otherwise. She said I wasn't involved in any forced prostitution. I did not agree with that conclusion. I was not trafficked. I did not engage with prostitution with him or others. That would have been my testimony if I was called to the stand. She says she didn't have to go because a lawyer told her she didn't need to go, probably because she did not add anything to the prosecutor's case. And I'm sure Diddy's team wouldn't reach out to her if they knew that she was already cooperating as victim number 3. But it looks like Diddy is currently a target at the Brooklyn prison. He's been held, and it looks like he's worried about getting shanked. He claimed that a guard at the jail stopped a man with a shank. Diddy has called this detention center home since he got busted in September 2024, and he lives in a room with 24 other men. Oh my gosh, I feel like there wouldn't be enough oxygen in the room. He said he's surrounded by drug use and violence. Diddy hasn't slept more than 2 hours in a row since being incarcerated and only eats bags of chips. Comment below, what kind of flavor bag of chips do you guys think Diddy's eating today? Let's get into the David investigation. Now, I need you guys to tell me below, do you think David is guilty or not? Because at this point, I was fully convinced that he had unalived Celeste, dismembered her, and then put her into the trunk of his Tesla and went on tour. But it seems like the police must not think that way because he is just a free man. And one thing I've noticed when I'm talking about celebrity scandals and lawsuits, they all go to the same lawyers. So when I see, oh, who's David hiring? Is he hiring the guy the bad people hire or the guy that the good people hire? I mean, there's a clear distinction. I can name a few different firms. I've named them before. I mean, he was hiring Blair Burke of the Burke and Brettler firm, and they've come after me before when Bob Saget was alive, and I think they used Drake Bell. He used them against me. Anyways, those guys work with the bad guys. And it looks like David has now hired Harvey Weinstein's criminal defense lawyer. He's not even been named a suspect yet, but he's acting like one. So now that David's getting comfy with his lawyer, I think it's interesting that we're starting to see different headlines about Celeste. It's not about what had happened to her. It's about who she is as a person. They're trying to paint her out as the girl that would go and fight with her neighbors and would run away from home home and that she was chaotic and David had his life in order. Interesting that they're now trying to say, and keep in mind, this is reported through Fox Online. So Fox is a pretty reputable, we all know like Fox News, but online they have to follow certain guidelines like CNN, ABC. So it's interesting that they are now saying that this could have been an overdose. They're almost like painting a picture of like how to get David out of this. Quote, this could have been an overdose. They panicked and hid her body because they didn't want to expose the relationship between I guess, David and the minor. I don't know why they quote between her and the minor. It should have been him and the minor. Either way, this quote is completely a mess. I don't know what Fox is doing, but I can't imagine how would the body end up dismembered if they're trying to fit into the frunk, and what kind of drugs were they using? They do say that Celeste had contact with a family member in sometime early July, so we don't know exactly when she could have been in the frunk, but we'd assume between the end of July and August. One person said, I'm really baffled that David hasn't at least come out, acknowledged, said her name, or offered condolences, because clearly they had a relationship.